The billionaire refused to dance with anyone until the black janitor walked in with her daughter, and he fell to his knees right there in the middle of the ballroom. This was the man who never danced, the man who never smiled, now sobbing and holding the hand of a young black girl no one had ever seen before. The whispers turned into gasps as the girl softly said, "Daddy." Behind her stood the janitor he had ignored for years, now crying as well. No one knew what was happening, but it was clear that something big was unraveling. It was the annual Winter Solstice Gala, a dazzling event where power met prestige. The ballroom shimmered in crystal and gold, and at the center stood Gregory Langford, a billionaire tech mogul known not just for his wealth, but for his silence. He never danced, never smiled, never mingled. People said he was too proud, too cold, too unreachable. But behind that stoic face was a man chained to a memory no one knew, a night 2 decades ago, a forbidden love, and a secret buried deep. No one would have guessed that this self-made mogul once fell for someone the world said he shouldn't. And tonight, as the elite sipped champagne and vied for his attention, Gregory kept glancing toward the door as though waiting for something or someone. What none of them realized was that the night would not end in luxury. It would end in revelation. The music played, the lights dimmed, and the crowd swayed. Dozens of women approached him for a dance, socialites, actresses, the daughters of business tycoons, each politely dismissed with a blank stare. Whispers rippled through the room, questioning why he even hosted the gala at all. Then, through the marble entrance, she appeared. Head down in her faded work uniform, Cassandra, the night janitor, walked in. Her presence drew stares, sneers, and even laughter. She wasn't invited. She was staff. But beside her stood a teenage girl in a simple maroon dress, her wide eyes shining beneath bouncing curls, nervous yet composed. Security moved swiftly. "You can't be here," one guard whispered harshly. But before they could act, Gregory raised his hand. "Let them in." The room fell silent. His eyes locked first on the girl, then on her mother. Something in his posture changed. He moved. For the first time in years, he stepped onto the dance floor, not toward the elites, but toward the janitor's daughter. Whispers became gasps. The girl looked confused. Cassandra looked panicked. Gregory extended his hand toward the young girl. The billionaire took the child's hand gently, almost reverently. She hesitated, then placed her small hand in his. As they danced, her eyes locked onto his with something beyond curiosity, something ancestral, something aching with unspoken truth. "Why do you look like me?" she whispered. Cassandra, trembling, dropped her mop and let the words fall from her lips through tears. "Because he is your father." The gala cracked open, not from scandal, but from truth. Gasps rippled across the ballroom. The orchestra stopped mid-note. Gregory froze, the truth exposed before hundreds. He turned to Cassandra, his face pale, jaw clenched, not in anger, but in grief. He had loved her once, but society hadn't allowed it. His family had disapproved. Her skin, her status, their child, all buried beneath fear and the weight of reputation. He had abandoned them, not by lack of feeling, but by cowardice. Now, years later, his daughter stood before him, eyes identical to his mother's, her spirit stronger than his own. Dropping to his knees, tears spilling freely, he clung to her hand as if it were the only thing keeping him alive. "Forgive me," he whispered. In that moment, the billionaire wasn't a host or an untouchable elite. He was just a father, broken, desperate, and begging for a second chance. The night didn't end in glitter. It ended in raw humanity. Gregory left the gala with Cassandra and their daughter, arm in arm, ignoring the flashing cameras and the stunned crowd. But the true ending wasn't in the headlines. It was in healing. The next morning, he publicly acknowledged them. He funded scholarships in his daughter's name and gave Cassandra the home he had once promised her. The same people who had once sneered now applauded. But Cassandra knew better. Applause could never erase the years of silence she had endured. Still, she chose grace over bitterness, for her daughter's sake, and perhaps even for Gregory's. He danced again in his life, but this time not with power, not for prestige, but with purpose. Because true legacy is never built on status. It is built on truth, no matter how long it takes to face.